Welcome back, everybody, to my vlog, my video blog. And today we're going to talk about somebody or some type of person that you know really well. Well, you drive your car, you pull up to a red light, and the guy comes up with the filthy bottle of water, and he's squirting it, and he's squeegeeing at your window, and he's got that disgusting old coffee cup in his hand, and he's begging you for money, right? We call him the squeegee man. Well, you know who else is this little beggar squeegee man? Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. I call him the squeegee man, who shows up like a little filthy beggar with his tactical pants and his military sweater. Who is Zelensky? Well, he started off as an actor, a comedian, an entertainer. He actually had a TV series called Servant of the People. Where he played a fictional Ukrainian president. Look at that, right? Then what happened was he decided to run for the presidency in 2019 of Ukraine. And he positioned himself as an anti-establishment, anti-corruption, right? He stated he would end conflicts with Russia, right? But what happened? That's not what happened. Russia invaded. And now that they're saying, oh, Zelensky orchestrated that, I don't know that he necessarily orchestrated it, but he didn't do a lot to prevent it. And he could have been, you knew the kid in school that tried to create a fight between, he'd never throw a punch in his life. He'd never been slapped or punched in the face, but he always started a fight between two other kids in school so he could stand there and watch, right? Well, that was kind of Zelensky in a sense. And what happened now? So he gets Biden to say that a small incursion would be okay. And then next thing you know, in 2022, Russia invades Ukraine. And what's the first thing that he does, Zelensky? When Russia invades Ukraine, he declares martial law, cancels any further elections. What he also does is he takes all the media outlets and shuts down a number of them, combines the ones that he left in place, and combine them into one particular media outlet that he used for himself, right? For his own type of it was just awful, right? So he's right doing that, and then he's now he's the minister of propaganda with those consolidated media outlets. Okay? So let's look at what happened then. He wants to become part of the EU. He wants to become part of NATO. And what happens? He shows up with that cup again in his hand, that filthy, disgusting coffee cup. Except he's not asking for nickels, dimes, quarters, or dollars. He wants billions. Billions he wants. And he shows up in those disgusting tactical pants with his stupid military sweater. And he shows up to the United States. And what happens? The U.S., the House of Representatives says, uh-oh, we got to protect the border of Ukraine. We got to protect it. They have a sovereign country. Well, wait a minute. What about with Biden? What about our sovereign country from 20 to 24, where our border was being, just people flying across our border, right? Illegal aliens coming across our border from Mexico, Central, South America, coming over from India, coming over from China, coming over from all over the world, right? Flowing into this country. We had an open border, but yet we had to spend billions of dollars with that little beggar Zelensky to protect his border. Okay? And now what happens, right? Oh, by the way, guess what? His wife does an awful lot of shopping on the weekends in Paris. And how does she get there? They have a couple of private planes, by the way. And by the way, before he ran for the presidency and when he was elected, he had about $1.5 million in net worth. Well, now he owns a multi-million-dollar home in Florida. He has an extravagant lifestyle that his wife leads, okay? He has, allegedly, there's a $1 billion net worth, okay? And I have to tell you this, there was no oversight on the $100+ billion that we sent there. And where did it all go? You can't tell me that it went for a total, they were buying rifles and 9mm cartridges and and 5.56 cartridges for rifles and scopes, over $100 billion. Well, we know what happened. A lot of that money went to pay people in his government. It went to pay the pensions of the bureaucrats that were in his government. Imagine that. So that money that we're sending them paid pensions for the bureaucrats in Ukraine, okay? While our people here are suffering California wildfires, North Carolina with floods, and it's awful, right? We're not protecting our border. So I have to tell you now, what also happens now, he's talking negatively about President Trump because Trump called him out. Trump said, you have a lousy approval rating. You're around 4%. As a matter of fact, as of today, they've talked about that he should flee the country and go to France. I guess his wife would be happy with that because then she wouldn't have to just shop on weekends. Could shop all day long. So who is that guy Zelensky really? And what happened to all that money? And why don't we have any oversight? Wait till Doge digs into that. Because remember, who is Vladimir Zelensky? He's the squeegee man with the filthy coffee cup who comes here begging for money. And I say, no more. That's it. The gravy train is over. So please, follow me on X. Go on Facebook and you can find a group called the Irv Goldstein Political Stink Tank. And then you can also find me on our YouTube channel. Okay? You'll find this there as well. And I look forward to hearing from you. We want your comments, right? Good, bad, indifferent. And please, go to X, at Bill Golodner. Hit the follow button there. Looking forward to it. More to come. Stay tuned.